Massachusetts is one of the New England states. It borders the Atlantic Ocean and Gulf of Maine to the east, Connecticut and Rhode Island to the south, New Hampshire and Vermont to the north, and New York to the west. The region was inhabited by Algonquian-speaking peoples when the first English settler, Bartholomew Gosnold, arrived in 1602. Later separatists fleeing religious persecution in England arrived aboard the Mayflower at Plymouth Harbor in 1620. In 1630, the Massachusetts Bay Colony was founded, taking its name from the indigenous Massachusetts people. The American Revolution began in Massachusetts. At the time, Massachusetts was a part of a royal colony called the Province of Massachusetts Bay. The province consisted of the former colonies of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, and the territories of Maine and Nova Scotia. Massachusetts was the center of the movement for independence from Great Britain. Colonies in Massachusetts had long uneasy relations with the British monarchy, including open rebellion under the domain of New England in the 1680s. Protests against British attempts to tax the colonies after the French and Indian War ended in 1763 led to the Boston Massacre in 1770, and the 1773 Boston Tea Party escalated tensions. In 1774, the Intolerable Acts targeted Massachusetts with punishments for the Boston Tea Party and further decreased local autonomy, increasing local dissent. As a member of the 13 original American colonies, Massachusetts had played a vital and crucial role in the War for Independence. On the 6th of February, 1788, the state of Massachusetts officially joined the Union. Massachusetts has played a huge commercial, cultural, and scientific role in the history of the United States. In the late 19th century, the sports of basketball and volleyball were invented in the western Massachusetts cities of Springfield and Holyoke, respectively. The Massachusetts coastline is about 2,400 kilometers in length, yet the cross-country distances are only 310 kilometers from east to west and 180 kilometers from north to south. The coast, whose configuration, marked by numerous embayments, gave rise to Massachusetts' nickname, the Bay State, winds from Rhode Island around Cape Cod, in and out of scenic harbors, along the shore south of Boston, through Boston Harbor and up the North Shore, swinging around the painter's paradise of Cape Ann to New Hampshire. Massachusetts is the seventh smallest state in the United States. Despite its small size, Massachusetts features numerous topographically distinctive regions. The large coastal plain of the Atlantic Ocean in the eastern section of the state contains Greater Boston, along with the most of the state's population, as well as the distinctive Cape Cod Peninsula. To the west lies the hilly rural region of central Massachusetts, and beyond that, the Connecticut River Valley. Along the western border of western Massachusetts lies the highest elevated part of the state, the Berkshires, forming a portion of the northern terminus of the Appalachian Mountains. The state has a temperate climate. The climate is colder but drier in western Massachusetts, although its winter snowfalls may be more severe than those near the coast. July is the hottest month, averaging about 22 degrees Celsius, in contrast to -3 degrees Celsius in January, the coldest month. Annual precipitation averages 42 inches in Boston and 44 to 45 inches in Worcester and Pittsfield, in the central and western parts of the state, respectively. At the 2020 U.S. Census, Massachusetts had a population of over 7 million, a 7.4% increase since the 2010 United States Census. As of 2020, Massachusetts was estimated to be the third most densely populated U.S. state, behind New Jersey and Rhode Island. Most Bay State residents live within the Boston metropolitan area, also known as Greater Boston, which includes Boston and its proximate surroundings, but also extending to Greater Lowell and to Worcester. The Springfield metropolitan area, also known as Greater Springfield, is also a major center of population. English is the primary language in the state. The majority of residents speak English as their mother tongue. A lot of residents speak Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, French, and also Russian. Massachusetts is now largely Roman Catholic, though its religious foundation was solidly Protestant. The Pilgrims who established the Plymouth colony in 1620 and the Puritan settlers went to Massachusetts mainly for religious reasons. Religion continued to be important throughout the early development of Massachusetts. The Puritan Congregational Church remained the established church until an amendment to the state constitution was passed in 1833. In 2022, Massachusetts GDP reached $543.6 billion, representing an increase of 2.3% from 2021. Massachusetts GDP has grown at an annualized rate of 2.5% over the 5 years to 2022. Moreover, Massachusetts' trailing 5-year GDP growth ranks it 10th out of all 50 U.S. states.